Ah, my one roach. My one investor.
Saved up for days to get that one.
Mm-hmm. I did too.
Our forces are under attack. The hive cluster is under attack.
Lost that one too. Lost that one too. Yep, man, so that's gonna be GG. Good game.
Proverbial nail in the coffin.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. So we've already beaten the horse for a while. It's safe to say that he got better positions on you multiple times that game. Maybe it all started with your roommate shouting at you as you commanded your first army into his.
Maybe.
But consistently throughout the game, after that moment, you found yourself kind of getting caught in bad spots. I think if I were being critical here, and I guess technically I am, I would say that fighting on the Zelnaga Tower it was hurting you because you were kind of so choked there, and he was getting that nice big concave down below it, and just the fungals, man. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
He got so many infestors so early, and he just kept making them all game long.
Yep, that's what you need to do. He did that very, very well. Just kept that big critical amount, and I really do like the speed. I think it's actually a buff. The speed nerf, quote unquote, is it helps you control them a little bit better. They're no longer ADD infestors. They've took some pills and they're a little more calm, easier to control.
I can't call that a buff at all. I keep losing my
Really?
infestors. Yeah, I was playing a ZvT the other day, and I went to attack the guy's third. I got there, and I went to cast fungal, and I looked down, and they were at my gold base.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it's bad.
It's
Obviously,
so slow. I guess it's just getting used to it.
gotta
So,
have creep spread.
hats off to Gerbil. He played a great game there.
Yeah, man. 2-1, stomping me.
Yeah. So, if we were playing by MLG rules, you would have map pick here. What would your choice be in this situation?
Oh, I'll probably see the Lost Templar medal.
All right. We'll go to Shattered since we haven't played that one yet.
Okay.
And I'll get old Jerby back in here.
Okay.
And need to invite my good buddy Sean.
That would be nice. Would be good, man. I gotta get in here and beat some gerbil, get some revenge.
That's
Animal
right.
rights people won't even know it hit them when I'm stomping gerbil.
Oh, poor Gerbil. All right, man. So we've seen a lot of late game stuff. These games have not been ending early at all.
Mhm.
Has ZvZ evolved to the point where the 5-minute games don't really take place anymore?
No, it's just the fact that I hatch first,
Mhm.
and that leads to a very macro game.
Mhm.
I mean, I can cheese him at certain points as well. I prefer to give you more of an interesting macro game. instead of
Absolutely,
the
absolutely.
all-in.
Let's talk about best of X series
Okay.
and the mindset that you have to take into it, because we do have Columbus coming up very soon.
hmm
You're down 2-1 in a best of 7. Hypothetically, that's kind of how we're pretending this whole thing's going to go.
Okay.
What is your mindset going into this fourth game? Would you cheese while you're down?
I would do a pool first build.
Okay.
I wouldn't cheese, but I would put pressure on him.
Okay. Is that what we're going to see here?
Sure.
All right. Cool.
Change it up a bit.
Let's do it. Let's see what you've got in store for us. Let's see what Gerbil brings to the table.
And a lot of ZvZ really isn't logic. Like, I mean, I wish I could just like continue to explain a lot of it while I'm doing it. And a lot of it is logical if you take the time to explain it. But to think about all the logical reasons for it is kind of difficult sometimes when you're playing it.
When you get into, I think, the best of... are we good to start, by the way?
Oh, yeah,
You said
whenever.
have fun, good luck.
Have
My
fun.
bad. I missed it.
Sorry, have fun, good luck.
There's a lot of, a lot of psychology that goes into when to do what. But you're right, man. ZvZ, there's a lot of coin flipping that takes place in the early game. As the game unfolds, I guess it becomes much more so about staying on top of your macro and control. I got to say, man, I was really impressed with your ability to hang in there that last game for as long as you did, because he was really, really far ahead, and you made him work for it. You just kind of got real quiet. I could feel the focus coming through my headphones,
Yeah,
and it was
it's,
just
it's
like
what happens when I'm trying to do a bunch of
it
things.
was just like stuff going off everywhere. It was cool.
I guess you can only really partition your brain into so many different little things, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I run to a point where I can no longer talk.
No, I understand. But there's a question built into that. Why not use that kind of multi-pronging stuff throughout the entire course of a game?
Okay, well, a lot of it just is that if your units are doing some sort of multi-prong attack out in the middle of nowhere, then they can just counter you, and it doesn't matter how well you're doing with your other units, you can just die.
Yeah. The old
And
Day 9
you
mantra.
can do it.
Just
Yeah,
go effing kill him.
yeah, exactly. Um, Sometimes it's good, but then again, sometimes you really can't do damage. Like if you have speedlings, it's good, true. But anything else, and look at this. Oh wait, no, maybe it's just bad on his part. He had his eggs kind of waiting for quite some time. Still has that one egg waiting for quite some time. I don't know if he's doing that accidentally or just kind of had maybe a couple second AFK moment. His roommate yelled at him or something. But I feel a little bit behind already. So at this point, I would go hatch first.
Okay,
But I will do the speed thing just because that's what we were discussing.
fair enough.
But like, yeah, if you're a little bit ahead, just go for the farther ahead thing. And the farther ahead thing is definitely hatch first and just be greedy with it. Like I would just make like an extra drone in my build order. Something like that at least.
Now, these positions are typically referred to as fast expand positions. Does having this kind of position make you more hesitant to go speed first, or does it not really play into
Yeah,
that decision?
it usually does. This build that I'm doing here, it's okay for that sort of thing, but it's not amazing. I will play this sometimes, so I feel like I get a little bit behind. Like, it's not a huge behind, but I'm not going to get really ahead with it unless I go for like an all-in.
Yeah.
So it has its ups and downs, but if they see you doing this, it's not as good. Like if you can hide this and they don't know you're doing this while you hatch first, it's a different story altogether.
Yeah.
But yep,
And he's
he
got
saved
something.
some larva.
Yeah, he's
too.
got something similar going on in his base.
Yep. Interesting. Looks like he wants to make some sort of building. I saw that drone fiddling around. Looks like he wants to make a roach warren. So it made some drones, and then it did that. I'm okay with that. It's pretty bad. I don't know what the thought process behind that is actually.
Not a fan of the one base roach play.
Not against one base. There's literally nothing. There's nothing that it beats. Beats if I go Baneling.
One base baneling.
I'm not gonna do that. I saw his build, so
Now you've thrown down an Evo chamber and a roach warren, so this is telling me you're going to go for some sort of +1 timing.
no, just +1 defensive roaches with a huge economy. That's all it is. It's the only difference. I want to kill a drone or two with this because I can get there before roaches are out, I imagine.
Oh, that queen is so fat. Jamming everything up.
I know. So he has a lair. He's probably making some roaches. And if nothing else, I made him make lings to compensate for my lings. So, and I have +1, so I'm just going to be defensive, get my own lair a little bit slower.
Oh my goodness, Lagrangian.
Well, his name's pretty self-explanatory. He's a lag phalangian.
And he's out.
To be defensive here, I can like make a queen after I get for my lair too, or even do it before. It's not a huge deal, I don't feel. But I don't think I really need to.
Now, your build kind of reminds me a lot of something that Machine has actually talked about on the show before, which is basically one base roach, make 3 to 5 roaches to block your ramp, take and expand, and then make roaches and push. Is that sort of what we're seeing here, or are you going to skip the expand part?
This is purely defensive right now. I just need to live with this, I feel. I want to see what he has, but I know like the fact that he's not expanding and the fact that he went for this really, really fast layer basically is... It's almost counterintuitive. It lets me do it with more economy and with an upgrade.
Yeah.
So unless he has like 8 roaches leaving right now with speed and burrow, which is an option, in which case I throw down a spine right here, right now, and just start only making roaches. But do not fear it that much. I also need to make. Alright, so I see his roaches. He has a bunch of them, but not enough to break my front. In my opinion. So I just it's pretty easy to deal with, especially if I have a +1 by the time he attacks. I want to go scout with this overseer, and I need to get another queen just in case he makes like 5 overseers.
Okay.
I do actually think I need to leave my overseer here, though.
I was about to ask about that. I think that's a very, very smart judgment.
Eh.
And it's as soon as you show him the overseer, he actually turns around.
Yep. So now I can go spit on his hatchery. Like, how dare you?
5 overseers. Is that something you still see? I thought that was just kind of a gimmick that was around for a week or two.
Well, think about getting not really 5, but just enough. Think about how good it would be. Like I could stop him from making any units continuously
Yeah.
for a really long
I
time.
guess 1 base versus 1 base, it does make sense.
Oh yeah, makes a lot of sense. He only has 1 queen too, which is like asking me to do it, but I'll make 2 even. So I'm okay with this. I like this build actually. Like it gives me a nice lead and stuff. And I do have this 2nd queen now, so I can go kill his interestingly placed overlord if I so desire. And he's expanding now.
So what does this do? Does this give us an attack timing, or is it just going to make us feel safer about taking our own base?
It's all just going to make us feel safer about taking our own base. He made it into an overseer. How cute. So now we're just going to go keep harassing with these little overseers of our own, basically, and take our own expansion. It's going to be a little bit slower, obviously, but that's fine. In this situation, because I get to keep stopping a few injects from him. And I do have a slight lead on upgrades, I feel. So, basically keeping him on that amount of hatches for a while. He will be able to stop mine, but I have too many larvae as is, so that's okay for me. I mean, the opposite might apply for him, but I'm not sure. And the fact that I got more hits on his overseers were pretty good. Time to go fly in and get another hit. Look at that, making him make a spore crawler. It's kind of cute.
Go spit on his natural.
If I need to. But now I'm going to go be somewhat aggressive, even though
He's got a few roaches.
he has quite a few roaches. More roaches than I do, for sure. But if I can time it right, I will have +1 or +2 to his no plus anything.
Mutation.
Or his +1, excuse me.
Oh, and he's going to give you a good position, too.
Not a bad one, that's for sure.
There's the drones.
Our forces are under attack.
Snipe there.
Why not, right?
Yeah. So it was just a little poke, and I think you got to feel happy with that exchange, right?
Yeah. Well, he is going to try and kill me here, but it's not going to work. As far as I can tell, at least. Now I just macro them to his base, even. I'm even going to stop my +1
You feel like you
carapace
can just
upgrade.
kill him?
Yeah. So I just killed one of his queens, and I've been spitting fairly well on
That's
his other
right.
ones.
You've got
so,
twice as much injection.
yeah, if I just keep the pressure up.
And not get supply blocked.
Yeah, that would be the other helpful thing to do here.
Good to know that it happens to the best of us.
Oh yeah. And even now I just killed all his probes, so.
Yeah.
And these upgrades +1 versus +2 is pretty huge. GG.
GG! 2-2. What an epic series we have unfolding here. I almost wish this was a show match. Alright, man. So, that was cool. That's a game that I don't feel like I've seen in a long time, because the one base style was popular for a while, a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody just kind of learned how to get away with hatch first, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
So it's almost phased out. I mean, I think a one base roach almost always dies to two base roach, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Very, very often.
I can't
No,
really think of a